right, all right. Good evening. Good evening, everybody. You are checking out our Philly Live show, live and local, right here from our Overbrook Farms studios. And, of course, we have our co-host, Mr. Van Stone, and our second co-host, Miss Whitney. How you doing tonight, everybody?
All right.
I'm doing well, doing well.
All right. So, we had a show last week. We actually were going to do a show yesterday, but I actually ended up getting a brand new mixing board. You should see this mixing board. It is all that. I'm not even going to tell you how much it costs, but it's enough. So it should do everything that we need. We can actually check
Are
phone
you doing
calls.
DJ things now,
Oh yeah, doing
Jerry?
DJ things. We could actually check phone calls now too. So probably starting our next show, we're actually going to have an open line, and if anybody wants to call, we'll be doing it live. They could actually call in, and we'll put them over the air. So
Sounds good.
I'm going to throw it as always to you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm actually going to throw it to you, Whitney. I'm going to let you open the show.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, I can do that. I can do that. Hey, everybody, I am Whitney, aka Mama Doe, aka with cheese, and I'm here with Jerry and Van Stone up online chilling, ready to have these good conversations, and the voices matter to the people. So I'm here, and I have a lot of things to talk about.
All right. Sounds good to me. So I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. Welcome to the Philly Live Show with, of course, our DJ Whitney. DJ Whitney, and of course, DJ Jerry Wilson. And we're in Philadelphia right now doing a great show. Next month, we're going to be live in another state. We're going to let Jerry get into that. We're going to, do once again what we've done before when Jerry left the state. And we had a nice little brief show. It was really pretty cool. And now we know that we can do remote, mobile. We can do what you need. We can come on the spot. So we also have a call-in that's going to be coming up. And we've been working on doing a shout out where, like some of the other shows, we don't have to be here. You'll call the line and give a shout out to whoever you want to shout out to, meaning praise or I don't know, whatever, not so praise, but still a shout out is a shout out. So we're trying to really build things up here. And also, of course, spring is just around the corner. This is the month of March. And I'm telling you, the weather is beautiful here in Philadelphia. It is 60 degrees. We're outside, many without a coat at all. So I just want to throw that stuff in there and say, hey, welcome to the show, everybody. And let's get right into the topic, which okay, Miss Witt, what do you want to talk about first? I want to throw it to you.
Okay, well, today I want to talk about how the firefighters, the first response team, had a meeting today, or they did a interview today, and how they're so upset that they were like this DOCE, whatever, Dodge from Elon Musk. They're like, fuck Elon Musk. He doesn't care about the firefighters. He had all these people up with cancer, all this other stuff. In my mind, I mean, I felt sorry for the guys, but I'm like, well, you voted for Trump. This is who you wanted. Now that you see that Elon Musk is kind of trying to take over our country, now you want to be all fuck, excuse my language, fuck Elon Musk. Then you should have said fuck Trump when you thought about it. Excuse my language. I mean, this is what they had. This is what they were saying. Like, you veterans that thought he was going to make America great, you believed in him, and now that you see he's putting people in these positions, or now he's allies with certain people, now you're like, oh, this is not what we want. Yes, you did. You voted for him, especially in Pennsylvania. We have not been a Republican state in a while. Always been like majority Republican, but y'all voted for this man. Now you're upset. Should we feel sorry for him? My opinion, no.
I think I said on the last show that basically anybody who voted against their best interest, nobody really feels too sorry for him. But I will ask you, Miss Whitney, this is a real show. It is. We do keep it real, but we also try to keep it a little family too. So
I'm sorry. That's why I said I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. You say what you feel. Van, what's your opinion on what Whitney just said?
You would throw it to me, huh?
Hey.
After you're gonna bring up the censure, you're gonna try to censor DJ Miss Whitney. Well, I got your back, Miss Whit. So listen. I liked how you brought out the facts, Miss Whitney, and I'm not clashing against Jerry because we're basically on the same page. I got his point, but whenever you speak as a journalist, which you did, Miss Whitney, you did. So I give you that. You quoted exactly, the word and the language. So that was good. So I appreciate, also how we're doing. It is family, but at the same time, I was going to come behind you and say, yeah, well, if they said fuck him, so there you go. I'm using the actual quote, just to share this on the show, because we're actually bringing you in, and I appreciate what you're doing. We're giving you some more insight, and you're growing as a journalist. You're leading, so I really appreciate that, and Jerry does too. So it wasn't like you're lashing out. And here, of course, we got Warren. He just joined the show.
Warren,
what's up, Warren Bloom?
Hey guys.
Before you say something, Warren, I want to finish up on a point that Ms. Whitney brought out, which is very powerful. Then you can comment. So because you are dealing directly with politics, and so the people who made their vote, they dealt with politics. These veterans, they're in trouble. They're getting fired, and so forth and so on. And they're so upset with Elon Musk or Trump. However, before you make your comment, Warren, let me make this announcement. That's very, very important. Thank goodness, doing some research. The government may shut down any day now, but we have this announcement for those who are receiving Social Security or disability. Well, the government shut down. You may relax because your money, your checks will not be affected at all. And that's amazing. I thought that would be important for our viewers and listeners and readers to know that, because like my mom, she's 80 years old and she needs her check. And even 65 and up and some a little younger, you still can apply for, the Social Security. And then also those who are on disability, you need that check. And disability just runs in so many different ways, man, we can't even say. So I just want our viewers to know that we got your back. Like I said, we're sharing information. We appreciate what's going on, but your checks are steady, and that's good. Okay, so Warren, you got anything you want to say? And we're going to throw it back to Jerry.
Well, I again, I didn't hear the full gist of the conversation. However, well, I want to say thank God again that, yes, those people who are on Social Security do not have to worry. So that's a relief. But I've just recently heard that a council person has introduced a bill here in Philadelphia that if you have a business here in Philadelphia and if you are engaged or hired any immigrant, and if that's the case, that your funding can be cut off. Your funding can be cut off if you have if you are hiring any immigrants right now.
Okay, Jerry, back to you.
Is it hiring any immigrants or undocumented immigrants?
Undocumented immigrants. Yeah.
Okay, just so that we would clarify that.
Right.
I don't know how I feel about that right now. So I'm just gonna. I got to think about that one because some people, some undocumented, a lot of them, they do come over here for a better life and they do work and they do contribute to the system. But there's also instances where they come over and they actually take away from some of the people who actually need here. So it's a case by case thing. I'm not going to say all either on either side. It's like a 50-50.
I feel the same way, Jerry, because I'm like, respectfully, some of these Latinos would rather take jobs that some black and white men don't want to take. So
Right.
they kind of feel superior. So, I mean, respectfully, yeah, it's like, okay, the Latinos want to work harder than our black and white men. But on the other hand, it's like, but they're getting paid under the table most likely, and that's dollars, that need to be some of that tax need to be taxed.
Well, this is my actual story. I was working in a place in King of Prussia maybe like 7 years ago where it was maybe 8 Americans that worked there. And I kid you not, we seen like a van pull up, had a bunch of Mexicans in it. They pulled us all in the meeting, all 8 Americans, and said, "You guys go home. We got these guys here." So
What?
I did not.
Wow.
I did not feel good that and then when they came in, they were basically talking smack about the American workers being fired while they were coming in. And I don't speak Spanish, but when you're being called a nigger in any language.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. I have a comment on that. So again, long as we're talking and we're speaking facts and fair, it's fair to say what you have to say about. There are a lot of blacks in general who they may not want to do the work. Okay, yes, that's factual and that's fair. But also on the other side, we come to find out that guess what? There's a lot of they will call them immigrants from whatever country they're in. They're alcoholics. Okay, they won't come to work on time. And when it's time to come to work, do you know why you get that cheap labor? Because they're basically up all night drinking and drunk and so forth and so on. And then by the time they get to the work and everything, I guess they sober up somewhat. And some of them, they can't even make it. Matter of fact, right here in West Philly, I had a bad experience where definitely it was an immigrant person. I'm a hard worker. I do ground maintenance and so forth and so on. And, I had one of those back in the day, you put your little stuff in that thing. It was a big old thing, the bucket thing, and you put tools in it. And come to find out, one of these guys was, constantly trying to steal, my tools. And they kept coming back, and I kept hearing them, like they started out like 7 in the morning, I heard them. Then they came back earlier, 6 in the morning, I heard them. And finally, they were determined to take my tools. And this definitely was an immigrant person. Wasn't no good hard worker who was willing to work. It was some terrible person who come up here and stole my thing out, the tool that I use, and ran off. So my point is that when we speak factually and fairly, yes, if you get a good group of immigrant workers, whether they're Mexicans, whatever, you work with them and they're going to do the job right. But at the same time, we do have a center here, the Van Sohn Center, upstairs, 5037 Walnut Street. And they had a group of people who are from, I guess, Mexico, and they did a terrible job on our floor. It looks beautiful, but you go up there and it's uneven. And see, I know about putting floors down. So, I just wanted to put that out in all fairness and factual too. Not taking any sides, just saying it depends on what you get and who it is. And so if you can get somebody that's dependable and loyal, you pick them. Because either way, you want the work done right. Whit, it looked like you had something to say, Ms. Whitney.
No. I was just listening. I wanted to know Jerry's opinion about the fireworkers and stuff.
Well, that's what I was saying. The firefighters, I don't understand why firefighters, anybody, police, fire, anybody would back Trump, knowing how he's just cutting everything, and especially with this Elon Musk. Where the hell did Elon Musk even come from, except from South Africa? How is he qualified, being a South African, to make decisions that impact the lives of Americans? He was not elected. He was not put in there by the Congress, Senate, the House, nothing. He's just in there and trying to fire everybody, which, in my opinion, they're trying to dismantle government. Don't know what they want to replace it with, but they're trying to dismantle government as we know it.
Right. And now Josh Shapiro is stepping in and asking the people that got fired from their federal jobs, do they want to come work for, like, I guess, the local, or I don't know, like regular city jobs? Did you hear
Yeah.
about that?
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Come to our state of Pennsylvania and work. This is what our governor is trying to do. At the same time, we don't know if the pay is the same, so how's that gonna work? And at the same time, it's just ridiculous. That's why I said I don't feel sorry. And I said this before when this question came up. The federal workers, unless it's somebody that I know personally, I don't feel sorry for them that they got fired. I don't. Because if you think about it, I said this before, is there a pool of federal workers where they throw in their money to the neighborhood development, where we're out here, growing our own vegetables from, or going to the fruit stand to the standing in line to food being given away. And it's all nationalities that get in those lines. If you go to a local church, I have a few right up the street here in West Philadelphia. Mainly, do you know who's in those lines? There are people who are from backgrounds that their background is not that they speak English. And they're in the lines trying to get those foods. So if Elon Musk, he's the richest man in the whole world, you know, he's firing people who are supposed to be in his mind on his level. See, that's another thing that people are not looking at. He's targeting those people first because those people are living in a whole different world that's a fantasy. And believe me, they ain't worried about what's happening to us until now. They're complaining in line, talking about, oh, I missed my job. Some park workers and all kind of stuff. How do you get a park work job? We have federal parks right here. One of the oldest federal parks is the Fairmount Park. I believe Fairmount Park, Warren, if I'm wrong, I'm looking at you. I think Fairmount Park is the largest park in the country. Now, back me up or tell me, what you think, Warren.
Hold on. He's got to unmute because he had something running in the background, so I muted him.
Okay. Is he clear? Okay, you got it.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. Fairmount Park is the oldest and the largest park in America, and praise the Lord and thank God for that. But we're really in uncharted waters right now, and it's very difficult to know what we're doing, especially in the face of our economic power. And as some of you know, over the last week or so, we were supposed to target certain businesses that we would not support. And so we have to consider all this, our buying power, our economic strength as a community, and how it's going to relate to this new administration is very troubling.
Yeah, that's a good point. Unless we're going on break, Jerry, I got another point.
Yes, we're going to go on break.
Okay.
All right, and we will be right back. Hold on for a second. We will be right back in a moment.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
All right, and we are back right here on the Philly Live Show, and we have about 10 minutes left, so we are joined by Mr. Warren Bloom, Whitney Hickson, if I got the name correct, and of course, co-host Mr. Van Stone and myself. So who are we going back to right now? Actually, you know what? How about Van? Finish your thought
I'm
from the last
going to
segment.
go back in and bring it in as always. I'm Van Stone, the face behind the voice. You're listening to and watching Philly Live. We're going to be throwing that name around a little bit different here. Philly Live, Philly this, Philly that. And we're in Philadelphia, of course. We have a lot to say, and you can join us, of course, on YouTube. You can join us on Facebook. We're here with Warren Bloom, former candidate for mayor. We're here with Whitney Hickson, DJ, of course. And I'm looking at you guys, your mics. It looks like your mics are still not open. I don't know. Is that correct? But I'm seeing, there we go.
I just didn't want to have no background
Okay,
voice
there we
or
go.
anything. Yes.
Okay, no problem. Warren, you need to unmute yours so that when you have something to say. All right. So I wanted to come back in because it was a very important point that was made about Black America taking a stand, a boycott. And they decided to boycott Target. And guess what? From my understanding, it works. It worked.
Wow.
Yeah, Target lost a lot of money, as far as I know, factually. So anybody have a comment on Mike? I mean, Warren, your mic is still not open, just to let you know. So Whitney, you got a comment?
Yeah, I'm glad that it worked. To be honest, that tells you if us as Black people stuck together, we can get a lot accomplished. Like every other nationality, you know, like if we can stick together, like the Chinese and like other nationalities, I think we can like really prosper. But I don't know why we beat each other down.
Yeah. Yeah. Warren, you wanted something to say?
Yeah, I agree with Whitney that this is a time and it's a test for us to show what we can do as a community. We as a community, we spend more money on going to the movies than any other nationality in this country. And so it's been proven that we have the economic power to affect change in this country, the economy in this country. And this is a great test. And I want to continue to explore that we need to invoke our economic power to invoke change for our benefit.
Warren,
This country.
I mean, Jerry.
Well, I mean, it's great to boycott these businesses. We keep giving money to corporations and companies that don't respect us. They don't respect our money. We walk in the stores, we get followed by the security. Happened to me today. I was in Giant, and they got this little robot, and I'm pretty sure the robot was following me. I'm pretty sure of it. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. But also, we should boycott the prisons, too.
A robot was following you? A robot?
The Giant has these customer service robots.
Right.
And for some reason, the thing just happens to be where I am at all times.
Wow.
Which, that's a camera. It's got cameras and stuff on it. They use it to follow people, but it's very obvious. Anyway, they would swear that the robot was just going through the yard, but come on, when you're being followed.
Wow.
I'm just saying. But no, like I said, can we start boycotting the prisons? Can we stay out of them? Let's make them close.
Yeah, how about this?
Stay out of the prisons. We can boycott. I have no problem with you boycotting Target, boycott. TJ Maxx, that's another. I got a story about them, but I'm not going to get into it right now. With a racist anti-union, I don't shop at any TJ Maxx company, which would be TJ Maxx, Home Goods, Marshalls, and some other company called Sierra Trading Post, which is out there in the West somewhere. But I'm going off a little bit, but that's my personal thing. Since you're going to throw all these other ones in there, throw in TJX companies.
Yeah,
they are too. And I believe Amazon, I mean, they're like trying to do one like each like week and then go back and do a blackout again. Like they're trying to just, like, come on, no, let's do pro-black. We're not going to do these other, major companies, but we'll see.
Well, I can't say too much about Amazon. I just had a delivery, so I don't know.
I'm sorry. That's all right. That's okay.
We can't stop everything.
Jerry, you used to work at Target at once, didn't you?
I never worked at Target, nor would I ever work at Target. It's the same scenario like TJ
okay.
Maxx. All of these retail companies, they pay, I almost cursed myself, they pay less than fair wages. We'll just put it that way.
Wait, I thought there was at least one retail place in your past work history. You've never worked at one of those retail places?
I worked at Kmart.
Huh?
I worked liquidation at Kmart.
Oh, okay, Kmart.
Yeah, I worked at Kmart.
Oh.
And I also
That's
worked.
telling your age, Jerry. That's telling your age, Jerry.
Yeah, I know this is a few years ago. Oh, look at this. We're about to run out of time. Isn't that nice? Time flies when you're having fun, right? So what we're gonna do is we got about 4 minutes. Is there anything anybody wanted to bring up, or do you want to wrap up?
No, we want to use all the minutes and bring something up. So I'm going to bring up something that's very important. We're still in political season, by the way. We just talked about the major thing because every week right now is Trump and what's happening. Meanwhile, in the local political season, elections are still important. They're coming up. Here in Philadelphia, the next one is in May, according to Warren. You just told me.
May 20th, yeah.
Just a little bit. I'm going to defer to you my time, because you were out there in the field busy with this political thing.
Yeah.
Give us a little something, I think that's important for our viewers to hear, whatever it is you were doing.
Well, I over the last week or two, I have been collecting signatures on prospective candidates who wants to be on the May 20th spring primary. I was getting signatures for 2 candidates. One, and you can look these candidates up. One is named Leon Huff.
Leon King.
Yeah, Mike Huff and Leon King. Mike Huff is a white 30-year attorney. He's a husband and the father of a 13-year-old. He's running for the Court of Common Pleas. And then there's Leon King, who's an African-American, who's also running. He's another 30-year attorney here in Philadelphia, and he's running for the Court of Common Pleas. He is the former commissioner, prison commissioner. So you can look him up, but he has a unique background and experiences that he will try to bring to the court. And the Court of Common Pleas deals with like a lot of family court matters and things like that. So we do need men and women on that court who will not only mete out good justice, but for teenagers and first-time offenders and things like that, they have to be ready to give these people a chance to get back into society. If they make a mistake, they have a right to be redeemed. So try to get involved, and if you want to look up both of those candidates, that's Mike Huff and Leon King, please do so and let me know what you think.
All right. We're about to wrap up. So, Warren, you pretty much already gave your final thought. If I'm correct, I'm going to go over to Miss Whitney.
I just want to say everybody have a blessed day, and let's just keep looking at what's going on day to day with the adults and making America great again. Let's see what other funny things might happen during this week that we can discuss again on Monday.
All right, Van, 30 seconds or less.
Okay, and I want to say and piggyback, listen, all those people who are now saying fuck the candidate that they voted for that's destroying their lives. Well, I'm supporting what Ms. Whitney was saying. You voted for that person, and so now you're suffering. Meanwhile, we are humble over here. We didn't want this crazy guy, but at the same time, we're hoping we can prepare with the suffering because we're going to suffer first anyway. So we just want to support you guys out here in Philadelphia and all around the country, and stick with us. And I know you're surprised that I used that word, but it's a factual word, Jerry.
I know. Hey, listen, that's why I like what we do. There's a balance here. Like I'm one way and other people are another way, and that's what makes this great.
Oh, no, they surprised hearing it from me.
I'm going to keep it PG-13, I promise. Next time, PG-13. I'll go
No,
beep, beep,
No,
beep,
they're
beep.
surprised to hear it from me, Van Stone. Trust me. So
Yes.
it's a curse word, but it's a quote from an actual fact. So in that case, hey, you can say it. These guys are on CNBC and all this, and they saying all kind of worse words than that, and they're just like, wow.
Even drinking liquor on live.
That's crazy. So
Yeah, we're gonna
the
do that
best
one day on the
journalists
show.
over
By
here.
the way, we're gonna have a liquor show. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes, yes, I'm okay
And-
with that. I'm
and-
okay with that.
So
Yes.
my
Miss
final
Whitney
thought.
gonna choke me when I come in tomorrow. Because I'm always like, Miss Whitney, you cursed. What are you doing?
So my final thought is, as Van was mentioning earlier, we're going to be doing a show out, maybe 2 shows or more out in Las Vegas. I will be going out to Las Vegas, Nevada next month around the first week of April for a union conference. I'm heavily involved with the unions.
Ooh.
And that's another thing we didn't get into, and we'll get into the next show about how anti-union the Trump administration is, including something that he did with the TSA regarding the TSA unions. But we ain't got time for that right now. So what we're going to do
I can't wait to hear that.
we're going to get out of here for tonight. And thank you, everybody, for joining us.
All right.
So long.
Thank you.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.